everyone! So on this week's video, it's just going to be a really short intro. Galerin's joining me for it, and I'm going to show you guys the highlights of making my custom design dress, Midnight Blossom. So this video is very different from my usual videos because I usually go into a lot more detail on like all the technical stuff and everything, and while I do go into detail, this video is more just for fun, and I've been very busy so I haven't had a chance to really film something with a lot of detail. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next week, I guess. This is the main fabric that I'll be using for this project. I've had this in my stockpile for years. Like, it's definitely out of print. I picked it up at a Joann's, like on their clearance rack even when I did get it. But it's really cool. It's an ombre blue with like little blossoms cascading down it. So I do have to keep that in mind, the ombre, because we have to make sure it's cut properly to get that nice effect dripping down the dress. As you can see, for the main bodice design, I'm just using some scrap white fabric to drape the look I want. It's not really even a complicated look. And I can write any details on it I need to like add on when I transfer it over and cut it out. The first step will actually not be cutting the main fabric, but will be to do the lining. And here's what the mock-up looks like. It looks good, so I'm ready to cut out the actual fashion fabric. So as I said, since the nature of this fabric is ombre, we have to lie it out flat, and if you need to cut it on the fold like I have to with the front piece, then you just have to fold a little over at a time to get the colorway right. And I am trying to remember to cut a slight bit bigger than my pattern piece for seam allowance. And here we have the front, the sides, and the back panel. Now I know the back panel looks a bit big, but we're gonna actually make this elasticated. So that's why it looks a little big. Don't forget to clip your curves where your front and side pieces match up. This will just make it a smoother fit. Then I'm gonna cut the straps at about 16 to 18 inches is good. Okay, so you got your rectangle for your strap, fold it like a hot dog. And we're just gonna sew up just like that edge. Trim it and then flip it right side out. Which is super tedious, and this is why I hate doing straps. I got my straps basted in place, and now we put right sides together with our lining and our fashion fabric, and I'm going to sew along the top, matching up as best I can all the seams. As best as I can into place. So it's 19 for my front waistband. Sorry about the back not being too detailed, but see, I just I hot dogged the back, so this was like the top edge, and I hot dogged it down. I've already added the waistband, as you can see. And now we're going to be making our channels for our elastic, and we're going to have 4 to 5. I always start at the top because I know I want my first elastic to be right at the top to hold the bodice up. And I just measure the elastic width that I'm going to be using. And I usually go about 2 inches, which for this gave me 4 tubes or 4 channels for elastic. I don't think I actually go into how wide to make each piece of elastic. I was just kind of look judging off of the dress form how wide to do it. So once you get them all in, you can just stretch them out, and that makes it nice and easy. And then it's just sewing up now the front to the back, and you have a finished bodice. See? Of course, then you will have to do the other side of your straps to the back. And the main thing is just don't sew the elastic. Now we're on to the skirt portion, and this looks super wrinkled, but this is just a lining like satin that I have. It's very lightweight, and I'm just gonna cut like 3 panels of semicircles skirts because I didn't have a wide enough fabric for a full circle skirt. For the chiffon overlay, I just cut it as a square. So as you can see, I connected my 4 corners, and I'm just going to use the natural pleats in the like chiffon to basically get it to fit the lining. So I measured out the front waist section I want it to cover where the split is, and I've added it to that back that I already pre-measured. Which gets me to 36, and I'm just going to start right off where I'd finished cutting on the ombre for the waistband to try and keep it as best I can in the same, like have the color scheme continue. So we get to 36, and I'm going to cut it. This is the overskirt split I was talking about in the last section, just that I think I missed a bit of footage, but yes, this is supposed to have a overskirt section, and that has a very sharp point. I attached the overskirt first to make sure that it turned out okay, and it did. So now I'm going to go ahead and attach the rest of this. The main thing I wanted to go show you guys is when you're doing the back, because of the elastic, make sure you stretch it to match. So let me show you guys over here. If there wasn't a cat on the way. Okay, so you see your back elastic, stretch it to match it. See, and even though there's a bit of a bulk, you're going to need that because we want to make sure that it's stretched so that it fits. And now that we have the bodice connected to the skirts, we can get to the fun part, which is the trim. And not even kidding, probably I was sitting here for 20-30 minutes just trying to figure out what I wanted to use. But I decided to use this really cool sheer black trim that's sort of silvery for the front overskirt edges. And then for the base of the overskirt, I have this really cool blue tassel, but the tassels vary in their shades of blue, which I thought was just perfect to match the ombre effect. And then I wanted to have a little like glitzy chain. It's not a chain though, it's just like rhinestones sort of. This was really hard to figure out how to sew on, but essentially I'm just catching a couple different areas between the rhinestones. And here's a bit of a different view, but yes, it's very sturdy after all of this hand sewing. Then I'm going to add a little white tassel, which I just found, and some cute big like fabric flowers that fit the color scheme. And there we go. And here is the reveal. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making this dress. I love getting to be creative. And I hope to see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. And yes,